Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Residents of Evil podcast. This one's a very special episode because we finally got our first look at the Resident Evil 3 remake. We thought Resident Evil 2 remake was like all-time hype, but now we got to look at not even a full year later of the Resident Evil 3 remake. So it's going to be a very good episode. Today I am joined by ROE Team member Tony.
Hey everybody, how we all doing tonight?
And ROE Team member Ali.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
Yeah, and we're very hyped. I don't know, what are you guys thinking? Just what are your initial thoughts just on this announcement? Actually, let me roll it back. It's not really an announcement. It actually, how this came about was the cover art was leaked onto the PlayStation Store. GameStat, which takes a photo image of all that stuff, recorded it, put it online, so somebody made a mistake, and somehow that information got leaked to the public. So that's how that came to be. But yeah, so what were you guys thinking when you woke up to sort of see Resident Evil 3 is happening and you got your first look at Jill, Carlos, and Nemesis?
Tony, you go first because this is your baby.
Yes, yeah, this is my pride and joy. So like I had people like texting my phone. I think it was like 9, 10 in the morning, and if anybody knows me, I'm up all night working on photos and stuff, so like I go to bed at like 5, 6 in the morning, so I'm like kind of grumpy. I'm just like, oh, what the fuck is wrong with people? I'm like my eyes start clearing and stuff, and I'm like, wait, what the fuck? What like I'm just like, am I dreaming? What the hell is this?
Right.
Like it literally just blew my mind seeing everything, like seeing that whole picture of Nemesis, Jill, and Carlos together. Because that's the first one I saw. I was just like,
whoa,
it's everything I ever wanted.
Yeah, that's good. That's definitely good.
Well, because a lot of the messages I got from people and my friends that called me later, they were all just like, all right, what do you hate about it? You hate everything. And I'm like, I don't hate everything. I'm just right, okay?
No, I'm just right. Yeah, that's a good way to go about it.
But no, I did. Like, I really, from what we saw, I loved everything about it. I mean, Nemesis looks a little weird, obviously, but, I was really excited to see the characters and the designs and just seeing how big, I feel the internet almost kind of exploded more with this than RE2. I think mainly because, like, as you said earlier in this episode, the fact that we just got over the hype of RE2 pretty much, like, getting like coming out this year, and all of a sudden we get this now. I think it was just more of a shock because we knew that 2 was coming for a while, like, when they said we do it, but that's all we ever got.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
and we didn't
get like no leaks or anything.
We did get leaks for Resident Evil 3, but like nothing confirmed. We didn't get any we do it. We didn't get any we got some hints, maybe you could call them hints, but nothing official. But it's been leaked multiple times. It was in development to the point where I was like, I can almost guarantee it's got to be in development. But what did you think, Ali, when you woke up to find out the news?
It was pretty crazy. I was like, wow, so soon?
Yeah. Oh, you weren't expecting it that quick? Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you very much. I mean, it's like, is it my birthday? I don't know what's going on right now.
It's almost Christmas.
I know, it's almost Christmas. I was surprised. We kind of thought that they might be working on something. We hoped that they were working on something. There were ideas, and we had discussed things before about it. If it was a possibility, what we'd like to see. And now it looks like this is could be a real thing. Yeah. Hopefully we're getting it soon. I don't know, but I'm really excited, man. It was a very pleasant surprise, and it's got me looking forward to whatever's coming.
Yeah.
hopefully soon.
For me personally, I woke up really early that day, like way too early, and I was like, oh my god, I'm just gonna go back to bed. And I was like, maybe I should check my phone, because it was like 3 hours earlier than I normally do, and thank God I did. My phone was just blowing up, and when I seen the first image, at first I was like, okay, this might just be fake, but then I seen how many messages I had, and I was like, okay, I'm up, yeah, I'm awake. And when I seen the images, I was like, holy shit, that's it. Like that that is real. People are talking about it. It's all over my social media pages. Like, it's happening. And this is just shortly after the leaks about potential 2020 release and possibility for it to be revealed at the Game Awards. So I was like, well, maybe that confirms like that it's going to be coming soon, because usually when cover art leaks, it's not long before you see an official announcement or a reveal trailer. And since then, there has been news that Jeff Keighley actually went on the record to say, no, it will not be at the Game Awards 2019. So just to confirm that up for everybody. Maybe he's lying, but I doubt it. But now everybody on the internet is speculating that PlayStation's State of Play, which takes place December 10th, which is sooner than the Game Awards, will have it. So that's coming up really soon. But yeah, man, I mean, it's weird because Resident Evil 2 Remake was like all-time hype for me. Like, it was just like the pinnacle moment of having the Residents of Evil channel and all the years of trying to petition to get a Resident Evil 2 Remake. And I was just like, could that moment ever be beat? And then not even a year later, well, a year later since the announcement, and yeah, we got Resident Evil 3. So I guess the hype is at an all-time high right now.
Yeah, completely from out of nowhere too.
Yeah, right.
Like Tony was saying, we saw, 6 years ago or so about the We Do It for RE2, and so we figured they were working on it, but nobody thought about RE3 until we played RE2. We're like, well, wait a minute, if this is 2,
yeah,
we just do 3 now. And sure enough, they were ready. They were, yeah.
That makes me wonder, like, because they could not have been working on Resident Evil 2 and 3 at the same time. Like, that would be crazy. That would have been like a really good secret. So I mean, there was other rumors that it was outsourced. Who knows right now? None of that's official, but man, they worked fast if they did this right after 2.
They had the foresight to be like, let's do both of them.
That would make the most sense to me, honestly.
Yeah.
And it does take place in Raccoon City, so a lot of the same assets could have been used. I mean, they did that with the original Resident Evil 2 and 3. You got the same static images plus a lot more. So like, it would save some time. I don't know. I'm just happy it's here. But I guess then, real quick, I just want to let everybody know we are doing this live. So we see a lot of you guys in the chat. Thank you so much for stopping in. We really appreciate it. To everybody here, thank you. Remake hype. Let's get those remake hypes in the chat. If you guys do donate through Super Chat on that, we will, after we get done with each chunk of discussion in this, we will give you a shout out. And at the end of the show, we'll actually be answering questions. So if you guys have any questions for us, save those for the end of the show. So now that we kind of got our first initial thoughts and our hype out, now I want to get into what's actually on the cover art. Like Jill, Carlos, Nemesis. This is our first time seeing it. I want to start with Jill because that's like the biggest one next to Nemesis. So let's start with Jill. Tony, what did you think of the new Jill?
Perfection.
All right.
Well,
nothing wrong at all.
Obviously, well, see, like, when everybody's favorite thing gets remade or something's done to it, a lot of people will instantly hate it because they can't adapt to change. And Resident Evil has been around for over 20 years, so we know things are going to change. Like, I know, like, with some people, they weren't too happy with how Claire was designed a little bit in Resident Evil 2 Remake.
I was say they were really not happy with Resident Evil Revelations, Claire.
Oh, yeah.
You mean Tobey Maguire?
Yes, Tobey Maguire, Grumpy Cat Claire. Yeah.
Nice.
But the thing of it is, Jill, and the thing of it is, I was all over the internet about this. I was watching everywhere, and all my cosplay friends that were sharing their Jill cosplays and stuff, and me doing the same. The people that I shot, everybody's saying a lot of the negative was it's not Julia Voth, and yeah, Julia Voth has been the face of Jill for the longest time, but when the Revelation series came in, they took that away, and it's changed. So people don't handle change well, but I think she looks good. And besides, this is just some kind of promotional image or whatever that was going to be on the PlayStation Network or whatever it is.
Correct.
So the actual in-game stuff, which we did see a extra version of that.
Yes, we did. Another angle of her face that looked to be in-game.
Yeah, it looked like it was in-game, and it looked like it was much better lighting. So she actually still, in many ways, does look like the original Jill. And honestly, I welcome the change. The outfit she's wearing is very reminiscent to the Dreamcast thing that I sent you.
Yep, there was. You want to explain that for the audience? Anybody that doesn't know?
Oh yeah, that's right. So a lot of you guys I know out there have only just really ever played the PlayStation 1 version of Resident Evil 3, or at least to some degree the GameCube version. So in the Dreamcast version, you get 2 additional outfits for Jill to unlock in the boutique. And one of them is where she's kind of wearing a tank top, like a blue tank top and everything. And the other one is a button-down blue shirt, which you've seen Lito Perez Manuel, who's done a lot of art for the channel. You've seen his rendition of that with Nemesis standing behind her.
Yeah.
So I think they may have taken that old school idea and just upgraded it a little bit, because it seems a little bit more practical than what she had originally in RE3. So
it does, definitely.
Overall, the entire look, it looks more real. And if I remember correctly, she and Carlos look a little bit more messed up and gritty than Claire and Leon did in the cover for Resident Evil 2.
Yeah.
Were they clean looking in the original? Like, I mean, not in the
It
original.
was raining, so
it was raining.
Yeah.
Leon was depressed, and Claire was looking up at the sky with her gem in her hand.
But like it didn't look like they had gone through like hell yet and everything.
Yeah,
like,
these guys
I'm looking at it
look
right
beat
now.
up.
They don't look. I'm looking at it right now. Yeah, they don't look beat up at all in any of these pictures. Yeah, the rain's going. The rain looks great. But if you look at the actual like cover of them with the city below them, they look clean and crisp. But like Carlos and Jill, it's just like, look, we are tired of this shit.
Yeah,
like we're not faking this. This is legit.
they're done. I mean, let's just take a quick moment to just take it in that we finally get to see these characters that are so iconic that in the games that we've loved for 20 plus years, we finally get to see real people playing these characters in the RE engine. Like, this is the real look of these characters. Before, you could just get like you said, they used Julia Voth's face. It looked really good. But now this is like scanned photorealistic photogrammetry detail. Like, these are real people in real life. Jill you see in the game is Jill in... There's a person for her in real life. So it's just crazy that now we get these real people. You know, like, I don't know, it blows my mind. But Ali, what did you think of the new Jill?
Oh, she's beautiful.
Oh, that's good.
No, I mean, I think her design, the model they got is gorgeous. She looks great. From what I can see from what was, leaked, I guess, from the PlayStation thing, her outfit looks like it's not so much of a tube top thing, but more like a tank top.
Tank top, yeah.
She looks like what Claire was wearing outside of her jacket, like when she took her jacket off.
100%,
or what Lara Croft wears, like in every game.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it reminded me right away. Yeah. It's like Lara Croft.
She's got the Lara Croft thing going. But I mean, I like that the shoulder holster looks awesome. She's got a flashlight on it, so it's gonna be similar to the RE2 remake with a lot of dark corridors with your flashlight.
Yeah.
So the atmosphere is gonna be great.
Yeah, definitely.
But she looks good, man. I'm excited. Like, I think they did a great job. I'm waiting to see who the cast is. You guys know, everybody in the chat, everybody who's listening, that's my thing. As soon as the cast comes out, I will be finding my way to talk to them as quickly as possible.
They will be on the ROE podcast. Ali will make sure of it.
I will hunt them down.
Oh, God.
Hold them hostage. So, if you're new to the channel, we got 436 people watching, which is crazy. Thank you guys so much. If you're new to the channel, we do, every time these games drop, we do interviews with all the voice actors and stuff like that. So, if you're interested in hearing interviews, definitely subscribe. But then now, I guess, on to my thoughts on Jill. I think she looks fantastic. It's a much more realistic take. And I think the face model they chose was excellent. They got the same short hair in there, which is great. And a lot of people have pointed out that she's got some definition to her arms, which I think is great because she's a STARS officer. Like, she is a badass. She's not just going to be your average everyday, girl you would see on the street. Like, she's actually trained, for certain circumstances that not everybody else is. So that's cool that she's got that. Other than that, really, there's not too much else to point out. Then this is just a very realistic take on that character, and she's not in a tube top, which made no sense. And it doesn't show what she's wearing below the waist, but I highly doubt that it is a skirt. So I think Maximilian's video, he said it could be jorts, and now I want to see Jill in jorts.
It was in 98. Jorts were a thing.
yeah, they were. Jill in jorts.
Where did she wear, like, what are they, Jangos? Those big ass
Jinko jeans.
Back then?
Yeah.
Jinkos, yeah.
Oh God, could you imagine? Actually, she looks legit
I don't want
here.
to see that now.
And then
I actually want to see that.
I do want to see that. That's gonna be an unlockable. But
Someone will mod it.
Yep, there will be mods. Remember that. But yeah, fantastic. Now moving on to Carlos, who is much more different than his original version. So what do you think, Tony?
He looks like Miguel from Tekken.
Yep. A lot of people pointed out.
And yeah, like that was like the first thing I noticed. Like when I woke up in the morning, like once like I stopped like overloading on like the sensory and shit like that. I just looked at it and I was like, huh, he looks like Miguel. All right, I can get with that. That's fine.
Yeah.
But overall, like everyone, I see like what people were saying like online all over the place about how negative and how crappy he looked.
Really?
And I'm just like, yeah, dude, like people were fucking flipping out. They're like, he looks
that.
terrible. And I was like, look, not everybody can have perfect hair in the zombie apocalypse. Not everybody can be Leon goddamn Kennedy. Okay?
Not everybody cares about their hair like Leon does. All right. You know how much work
Leon's
goes into
got, like,
that?
Industrial strength, like hairspray. That's why it stays so like flat.
Yeah.
But no, like the thing is, like, if we're gonna go really for more realistic looks and everything like that, like I know a lot of people of Spanish descent and everything like that, and they do have hair a lot like what Carlos has.
Yeah,
and,
I thought that too.
Yeah, and the big question nobody's really talking about, because they keep talking about his hair, what's his voice gonna sound? Is he gonna have the accent?
I don't think they're gonna. Yeah, I think he might have the accent, but I think they're gonna tone it down. on some of his personality.
Which, yeah, like it might not be as thick, but like, yeah, I mean, because like a lot of people didn't like how he was designed in was it Operation Raccoon City, and they didn't like his voice in the Umbrella Chronicles. So this is like the character.
Like his model in Umbrella Chronicles was terrible.
Oh my god! Well, he had like a donut face. No, it was like the shape of a bean.
Yeah.
If you really go back and look at it, it was like the shape of a bean.
Yeah.
And I was just like, what did they do to him? Like, what the hell, guys? Like, did you study this game? But these characters, but like overall, like I'm liking what I'm seeing. It's just, I think honestly, it's not just him looking like a pretty boy anymore. Like he's still got those boyish looks, but he looks like a badass.
Yeah, no, definitely.
So
I second that.
Yeah, so like I really don't feel that like his new design is bad, and a lot of people have told me it's like, oh, it's your favorite game, so of course you're gonna go with that. But then everybody else is just like, oh, it's your favorite game, of course you're gonna be negative about it. And I was like,
what?
I can't win.
What? What do you want me to say? What do you think, Ali, on Carlos?
Oh, it's on Nacho Libre.
Yeah,
I love the Shaggy Dog.
Actually, yeah. Same here. Same here.
No, it's I like it. I'm all right with it. Like his hair, I'll probably get over it. It rains anyways in the game. I'm expecting like it rains at night. So
poofs up more, like my hair.
Just be like
it gets frizzy.
But I think he looks good. He looks like a badass. And I'm looking at his gear. Like I like his loadout. It looks legit.
Yeah. Definitely.
So it feels like the group that, what are they called? The mercenary group.
UBS. UBCS. Yeah.
Damn, it's been on so long since
I know.
Played 3. Like
I played it, but I didn't remember. It's played.
Don't worry, I got you covered.
Yeah. Anyways, like I'm looking forward to seeing what the rest of them look like.
Yeah, definitely. Oh yeah, Nikolai, Miguel. Yeah, that's gonna be cool. I mean, what they did with these characters, I can't wait to see what they did with those. But I guess for me personally, like I haven't seen the negativity, I guess, that you've seen, Tony. Primarily, everybody I see really likes Carlos's new look, including me. I love that he still's got the military tactical outfit. He definitely looks more like a badass. The first thing I noticed was his hair. My first thoughts were, good luck trying to get a comb through that, but I don't mind it at all. I think he looks badass, and I think it's like I said, much more realistic take on him. I think they're going to tone down his attitude a little bit. I hope they keep some of it, because that's kind of what made him a special character, is his attitude, and how he was kind of cocky. And I hope they don't get rid of that completely. I really do hope that stays. But just based off of the looks here, it's like, damn, man, between Jill and Carlos, like, this looks good. I can't wait to see these two in action in Raccoon City. Like, it looks so good. It looks so real. I can't wait. But yeah, so I guess
yeah. I can't wait to see them in action.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, you know what I mean. Giggity. You know what I meant, all right? Come on, this is family friendly, damn it.
Kicking ass and taking names and then blowing up Raccoon City on their way out.
Hey, you never know. Maybe Carlos will hook up with Jill at the end like he always wanted. Maybe that's what everybody always says, is Jill should have got with Chris. And I'm like, no. At the end of Resident Evil, she's with Carlos. Okay?
Exactly.
She's with Carlos, guys.
Ladies dig his shaggy haircut.
Yes. She's with Carlos. It's accept it.
It drives them wild.
Oh yeah. But yeah, now moving on, as it's in the video, to the elephant in the room, Nemesis. The biggest one.
I gotta point something out real quick.
Okay.
Alessio in the chat says Carlos became Adam Sandler. That's what he looks like.
He does.
He looks like Zohan. He looks like the Zohan.
He does look like the Zohan. Holy shit. We got Jill and the Zohan.
Oh my god, no.
Now it's perfect. Disco, good.
So Nemesis. Now this one, I know, like, this is what I was most excited to see was Nemesis for the characters, and Raccoon City for, the two things I'm most excited to see. But Nemesis, this is a tough one, because we've gotten tons of interpretations of Jill, and she looks different every time. We've gotten tons of interpretations of, two of Carlos, maybe a couple others, I don't know, and he looks different. But Nemesis, throughout the series, he's always kept a similar look. People have grown to know Nemesis. He was in the live-action movies, he was in the artwork for Tekken, he was in multiple games, he was in Marvel vs. Capcom, and he's always kept a similar look. So now, this is the most drastic change we've seen on Nemesis. And when I first seen this, I was like, okay, I need to analyze this, I need to take this all in, but I have a bad feeling people are going to be upset, because this is not the Nemesis we're used to. And I'll give my thoughts on what I think about it. But first, Tony, what did you think when you first seen Nosy Nemi?
Uh,
The
I
nose
mean,
knows.
I mean, in the main poster, you don't really notice it at first, but that side view for like the Z version, it was just like, oh,
Yeah, that Z
there's
version's pretty rough.
yeah, there's we're gonna have to need a shotgun facelift for this guy. This is yeah, I mean, when you really look at it, it kind of reminds me of Freddy Krueger in many ways.
Yeah, yeah.
But I mean, it's not that big of a deal because I think we're all just gonna be too terrified anyway to actually look at the nose in game.
I don't plan on having a staring contest with them. Okay.
Yeah, like that guy's got reach, so you know.
Yeah.
I mean, it is what it is. I mean, it's obviously I'm just like, yeah, they didn't really have to add that, but overall, it doesn't really hurt. I mean, the caution tape on him is a little bit weird. I hope that's just part of like something that might like break off later or something. Like maybe he's got some kind of like armor on him, like over his like trench coat or something. That
like it's just
him.
kind of like holding in all of his growth underneath, and as soon as the caution tape rips, he just becomes Hulk Nemi. That'd be sick.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
I mean, he does in the games. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, like I said, just like I said, I like what I'm seeing because, you know, like every version of Nemesis, you know, looks wise, like you were saying earlier, has always been the same. It's always been pretty spot on for what he was in the original game. And it, like, you know, Marvel vs. Capcom 3, Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, Operation Raccoon City, Umbrella Chronicles, you know, the works. He's always looked the same and he's always done good. And I've always liked that they did that. It's just the other thing, it's much like the Carlos thing. What about the voice?
Yeah, that's the most important. That is key.
Because Umbrella Chronicles version, it was like he was yelling into a tin can.
It sounded terrible.
Yeah, and like Operation Raccoon City wasn't terrible, and Marvel vs. Capcom, both the Ultimate 3 and Infinite, he was all right in it. Like he just didn't have a lot of speaking parts. He just, you know, spoke a couple of lines and grunted and you know, all that stuff. It's a fighting game. It's what they do. So you couldn't really go much off that. But I really hope they don't screw the pooch on that. I really hope that, you know, that's a voice when you hear it in the distance like you do in the original game. Like you could be walking and all of a sudden you hear stars like far off in the distance.
Yeah.
And you're just like, oh shit. I want a noise that comes from him, like a guttural thing, like right from the gut that makes you terrified of what you're hearing.
Yeah. And I think the
before
first
you
game
see
was
him on screen.
Yeah. The first game was the first to do it, and it did it the best. I in my opinion, the original Resident Evil 3 and all the other interpretations, some were close, some missed the mark. But yeah, and unfortunately, the voice actor who did that, and do you have his name offhand, Tony?
Oh, what, for Resident Evil 3?
Yeah.
Yeah, Tony Risotto.
Oh yeah, unfortunately, he passed away. So unless they use those original recordings, which I highly doubt, we're gonna get a new sound for him, and I'm interested to see how that's gonna be.
Oh, sorry, in the chat right here. Well, first off, we have 627 people watching, and there are a ton of people subscribing. Thank you guys so much for that. Greatly appreciate that. Second off, someone says that Frank Welker should be the voice of the Nemesis. For those of you who don't know, the two best things that Frank Welker is known for is Megatron from the old Transformers TV show, and Fred Jones from every version of Scooby-Doo except a pup named Scooby-Doo. He's been voicing the character for literally 40 years.
Mm-hmm.
And he does a lot of cartoon dog, like other animal voice, because he's the voice of Scooby-Doo now, because Don Messick passed many years ago and stuff. Mm-hmm. So he's very good at like changing his vocal cords to be like guttural and like animalistic like. So I mean that's kind of a good thing. And by the way, before we forget, that was a $5 super chat from Rick Wolf. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you so much, dude. He says we can all agree the live action movie Carlos is the best Carlos, though, right?
Yeah.
Well,
you know what?
Oh, the fair is good.
I need to circle back to him. I had contacted him a few years ago when we were kind of getting this going.
Yeah.
And there was a little bit of interest in there, but the schedule wasn't there, and I just never came back to it. So maybe we can get him on. I love the dude. I thought he was a phenomenal actor.
Yeah,
like the Mummy and Deuce Bigelow, and
I like him.
Oh my God, he's in Deuce Bigelow. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
I remember seeing the movie and being like, that's not even close to the Carlos I know.
Yeah,
but I liked him as an actor.
I like that guy, so I'm okay with it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I did the part justice, I think, for what it was. Anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah, Tony, anything else on Nemesis?
Other than that, no. Like, I mean, I'm just like I said, love how he looks. Just hope the voice is something that really does the character justice.
Yeah, definitely. What do you think, Ollie?
I get the whole Freddy Krueger thing because he does have the stretched pieces of skin tore away, but what it looks like is he's growing out of his skin, so it's stretched out and pulling back off his head.
Yeah,
that's why his nose is all crooked and his mouth like that. it's like it's gonna tear. But what I go back to is the scene in the hallway for RE2 remake when you lift that officer's head to the side and like his jaw drops and you get all that sinew and nasty blood and just all the good stuff.
Yep.
That's gonna be his face all the time.
Yeah, mangled.
It's gonna be mangled and disgusting. And like I said, I'm not gonna be looking at him. I'm gonna be running the opposite direction most likely.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be pretty awesome. More and his size. I mean, just think what they did with Mr. X with his size and how intimidating. You know, like you're talking about the voice. Well, Mr. X had his steps. You're gonna have steps and the Nemesis voice, and you're gonna know that he's like 2 rooms over, looking for you or hunting you down or something. It's gonna be awesome.
And maybe you can
X doesn't
pass
make
through
a
more
damn
walls.
noise at all until he transforms. So
Yeah.
I'm kind of hoping like as the game goes on though, like some of those tears actually do start to tear and like some of that skin starts really coming off.
And in the RE
Especially
engine, it'll look fantastic actually peeling off.
Yeah. It's going to be so disgusting.
Sick. And that's what we want. That's what we want.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome.
And do you have anything else you'd like to add to your initial thoughts on Nemesis?
That's pretty much it. The teeth is kind of weird though. He's got like rodent teeth, which
Square
is
teeth.
weird.
Did you like
So I'm
it
not
though?
sure.
Do you like it?
In your thumbnail, yes.
Okay.
What we've seen, no.
Okay, and I should include that the thumbnail, the artwork, I edited it, but it was by Marcos RC. Some of you know him. I just want to give him a shout out. His link is going to be down in the description if you want to go check him out. But he did some really fantastic high resolution renditions of it.
Yeah, definitely. And that's what looks cool. Like his version. So they look like rodent teeth though. They're weird.
yeah, like rabbit teeth or something like that, or hamster teeth. Yeah.
On his teeth,
Probably,
I want to get on that. I want to stay on that subject to transition into the first thoughts I thought when I seen him. When I seen that Z version, and I'm going to be completely honest with you, I do not like the artwork, not the artwork, but the angle on that Z version, the way his teeth look.
That's the problem, I think, is with that picture, is the way it was, because that's not an in-game pic. That's not something, it looks like an illustration.
It sort of does look like an illustration. It's just a really odd angle of his face, and I think that's just the way his face is, and that angle looks like that. Now, that doesn't mean I didn't like him, but when I seen those squared off teeth, the first thing I thought was an old horror book I used to read as a kid. It's called In a Dark, Dark Room, and the story is the teeth. And I know if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, you'll be like, okay, I have no idea what that is. But if you do know what I'm talking about, you'll be like, oh my god, yeah, those teeth are exactly like that. And I was like, I don't know how I feel about that. Like, that's very cartoony. But that picture of the straight on of his face, now that looks a lot more sick. Like that it's different, and it took me a minute, and it's growing on me. But it took me a minute because I love the classic Nemesis that we've seen so many times, especially in the Marvel vs. Capcom, the trailer, how awesome that looked. Like, that looks so fantastic, and to see this, I'm like, okay, all right, I just need to stop, take this in, and honestly, like I said, it is growing on me. It's very grotesque from that front angle. He just looks menacing, and that's what you want for Nemesis. His face is mangled and ripped and torn, and it looks more human in this. Whereas in the other one, it was just like he is like a Frankenstein. Here he looks like a Frankenstein, but actually was a person at one period of time. The nose is there, and it's right in your face, but it's disturbing, and I kind of like that. I do.
I don't know. I just feel he kind of reminds me of Tony Robbins from that Family Guy skit. Let me show you guys right here. I looked it up. Like this is like the human version of Nemesis.
The nose being askew though breaks the symmetry of the face, which makes people uncomfortable.
That's
so
good.
That may be an actual design choice.
It definitely could be.
And it looks like the face is. Sometimes it looks like it's pieces that were like, you know how the staples and stuff in the original, like they threw pieces on
together,
to make it look more like a face.
Yeah, and here it was a face, and they're just trying to hold it together before it all peels off. One thing I want to note. And the caution tape, it's, you know, like, I haven't seen his full outfit. All we see is the cautions. I don't know how that looks. I really don't mind right now because
the caution tape's kind of stupid.
Yeah, it's kind of stupid, but I also, it might look cool. Like, it might be like caution, like a biohazard suit sort of thing. And in the one image we got that looked like it was from in-game gameplay, it looked like he was wearing a trench coat. So I don't know how that's going to look yet. I can't judge it. But that tube that's coming from over his shoulder... And it looks, I don't know if you guys see this, but it looks a lot like it's a mechanism covering a large heart, like the Tyrant in Resident Evil 1. And it's like, oh yeah, because he is a Tyrant, and that would make sense that they would want to cover that. So maybe they're keeping, in the Tyrant's heart broke out, Mr. X's broke out in the Super Tyrant in Resident Evil 2. So it's like they're keeping that consistency now with the Tyrants. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that is pretty smart that there's actually showing that these are within a line of model development, basically.
Yeah. Yeah, so... So, yeah, I mean it's cool that maybe that'll transition into the story and we'll get some more consistency between the events of Resident Evil 3 and Resident Evil 2 because they're redoing them. So yeah, I mean overall, like I said, it's definitely growing on me. No matter what, I am not gonna like that Z version of Nemesis, the one in that cover art, but the one in the Resident Evil 3 cover art, I think he looks pretty sick, honestly. And the biggest thing is gonna be, like Tony said, his voice and how does he play. Like, they amped up Mr. X so much in Resident Evil 2 Remake. I can't wait to see what they're going to do because people were terrified of Mr. X. Nemesis runs and he has a fucking rocket launcher. Like,
everybody ripped on the fedora for Mr. X until they saw him in person and said, you know what? I don't care about the fedora anymore.
yeah.
Right.
Remake Mr. X gets a nice fedora. Fucking Remake 3, Nemesis gets a botched nose job.
Yep. Mangled. Maybe you'll find a fedora in the streets of Raccoon City, put it on, and try to blend in. I am like you, but I am hunting stars. Have you seen Jill?
And he talks like Borat.
Yep.
Oh, no.
Okay. Just open his mouth and sound like Borat. Perfect. All right, so before we get in, we transition now into what do we want to see in the Resident Evil 3 remake? Like, it's about to come. What do we want? What are our favorite things? I want to just give a shout out to some of the people that have donated through Super Chats. We want to thank you guys so much for the support. We really appreciate it. We're not going to overlook any of these. We're just going to bring them up in between conversations. So, Misunderstood × 2 donated 99 cents. Thank you so much for that. Richard Catalan
for $1.
Yeah. Catalan with a $5 super chat. Thank you so much. I'm sorry if I butchered your last name. Excited to see how they implement the mercenaries. Resident Evil 3, where the mercenaries started. Yes, we'll get into that later, but that's a big deal to us. And then Jamie with the $10 super chat. Thank you so much. I hope we get to explore Raccoon City like the original, the back alleys, let me pop this out. It cut off.
I thought we were going into discussion already.
The back alleys, the hospital, bar, restaurant, city hall. Also, hope we get to see giant spiders, special hunters, etc. Yes, 100%.
Segue.
All right, now, segue into what do you guys, Tony? What did you love about the original, and what do you hope they bring back? And if they do bring it back, do you want to see it changed in any way, or do you want to see it stay the same? Loaded question.
Well, first, the main thing we have to do, there's a lot to love about the original games, especially Jill getting all those outfits. The one thing this game needs is Jill in a giant sandwich outfit.
Yes.
I'm calling it right now, Capcom. I will literally give you $20 for that DLC outfit.
We talked about this last night, and not only does she get the outfit, but when zombies bite her, clumps of it come out, just like the tofu in Resident Evil 2 remake.
Yeah. But yeah, honestly, I would say joking aside, but I actually want that to be a real thing. But no, Resident Evil 3, this is more expansive than the first two games. The first one was in the mansion pretty much the whole time, and on the mansion grounds, the underground labs, the tunnels, the guardhouse. 2 had you in the police station for the most of the time, a little bit on the street at the beginning, and then the lab and the sewers. But it's still it was all enclosed. The world is your playground in Resident Evil 3 Nemesis, and the thing that really sells this game more than the Nemesis, more than the new creatures that were added, the dodge mechanic, the gunpowder, is the scenery. The scenery in this game, everywhere you go, you feel the destruction of Raccoon City down every street, the crunching of the glass beneath your feet, the hydrants bursting with water and everything, cars that are flipped or on fire, and back alleys that are boarded off. These are things that need to be kept intact when it comes to doing this. And if anything, from what we saw of Resident Evil 2, everything for the 2 remake, they can do it. And I personally really just want to see them, focus on these places, make them as great as they were in the original. I know it's hard to capture, get lightning in a bottle twice and everything, but RE2 proved that they could do it in certain areas. And if they leave out Raccoon City Park, I'm going to be mad.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of potential to that.
That's my favorite area because, after everything, Carlos and Jill go through, you get to the park at this point, you get to control Jill again, enough time has passed. It's raining outside now. You get into the park, you feel a sense of calmingness, the way that the trees and the lighting and the shadows are, and, a stroll through the park usually calms your nerves. And when you play the game, you do feel calm, but at the same time, you're like, shit, it's still Raccoon City. Exactly. Anything could be jumping out of those shadows. And I really loved how they implicate it. It's small things no one really talks about, but scenery is really, and atmosphere is big for me with these games, and That's something I really hope that they take into consideration and bring into this game, because it worked so well for the original.
Yeah, definitely. And like we discussed this before too, and it's the little things. It really is. It's all the little touches, all the little details that were put into these, old fixed camera angle backgrounds. All like the shelves all pulled out, papers all over the floor. Like there was so much thought and attention, and like people don't understand that really adds up to create an experience that lasts 20 years, like we had with the original Resident Evil 3.
Yeah, no, it's crazy.
Yeah, talking about that, if you think back to the games, the best games that we love about the series, the environments were always their own character.
Yes.
They had their own heartbeat to them, basically their own soul as you were playing through this game. But I think the problem, like one of the big problems I had in a lot of people is, can you really recall much of like 6's environments?
No, you're always going through them at a fast pace.
Yeah, they became set pieces instead of their own, living, breathing character in this game.
Exactly.
And 7 did a good job of, at least I think, until it puts you on pretty much a rail shooter at the end. But the house was amazing.
Yes.
So well done. 2, the RPD was beautiful. I loved the redesign of the lab at the end. The sewers were okay. They're sewers. You can't do too much more with those.
Yeah.
But they felt like nasty sewers.
Felt better.
So I'm excited. I'm excited to see them bring the city to life in RE3, because, like Tony said, the city was such a big part of the experience.
Yes.
In 3, the atmosphere, the rain, the park, the hospital, the church, all those locations were just so important to that game.
Yeah, and we can't forget about the one, like, this is like a big important thing. It was implicated in 2, but I feel because you spent more time outside in 3, it was more prominent and known there. You can hear the zombies moaning and the wind blowing.
Exactly.
That was one of the biggest selling points in 3 for me. Now, 2, you heard it when you were outside for a little bit, but 3, it's sold because you spend like a majority of the first half of the game on the streets.
You live with that for a huge chunk of the game. Like,
yeah, like so if they can, not forget to do that, I will be very happy.
Yeah, no, the soundtrack is key too. It's not like one thing is more important than another. All of it needs to come together to create what the original had. And you say it's a scenery, and Ali, you're saying that it's you're most excited to see the map. Is that correct? The city?
Yeah, amongst other things, like I like a lot of what they did with 2 as far as the mechanics and like the overall game. Everything was good. I loved to see that applied to 3 is going to be really nice if they're bringing that same concept over, which I don't know why you wouldn't at
exactly,
this point.
Yeah.
So as far as like what would we keep? Obviously, the majority of the story needs to stay. Locations that we've been to in the past need to stay with their updates to make them more, better.
Yeah.
In the new engines, but having some new locations would be cool. Like
definitely,
we've talked about in the past. I'd like to see some of the locations, like take us to the school where this started to the game.
That would be interesting.
Put us in the school and let us go through there, because you think Jill is going to be very closely tied to these things as they're coming up. She's going to be monitoring them. And then when they set up if I remember, they set up the school as a safe zone collection point, right? For like people to come in and this is sanctuary. And but it didn't work out. Obviously, you got overrun from the inside or something, whatever happened. But
Jill did go through a lot before we actually start playing as her in the game. Like, you don't realize how much she's been through already.
I'd like to see the city kind of dissolve into what we get to play.
Yep.
And these, things start to come out. Like, it'd be funny to have Jill in a sandwich costume as a playable character as like a special.
Yeah.
But it would also be kind of interesting. Like, you started off on the RPD and she's, putting a sandwich in the fridge is labeled Jill or something stupid.
Oh, that's cool. Or let me try to go off that. What if we started off as her in her apartment while she's putting a sandwich in the fridge?
It's just something silly, but
that'd be cool.
I think that's just me being goofy with it.
When it all goes down, yeah. No, it's definitely
just a little nod. Just a little nod, but yeah, I think I want to see some more of the build up to the catastrophe, to the apocalypse, and then some more locations and some of the good things from the original, like that they even put in remake, like the ammunition combination type things, and
yes,
I want them to bring back the decision making too.
100%. And I do want to get into that, but first I just want to real quick go over what I'm hoping for, and I'm gonna go over it real quick because you guys already touched on it, but I'm the same with you guys. Like, the city is the most important thing for me. It was Nemesis, and now that we've seen him, like like Resident Evil 1 had the Spencer Mansion, Resident Evil 2 had the RPD, and now the city is living and breathing, like you said. And it was a labyrinth, but it made sense. It had a flow, and I just want to see that brought back, like you said too, also with extra add-ons like the RPD had. So yes, that's what I want to see the most. That's what I'm excited for. Now going into what needs to be brought back, the choice system. Yes, let's discuss that.
Oh yeah, so the choice system would be great. I think I would add an extra level to the fear of Nemesis to give us the choice if we want to fight him or not is a big thing. Like, do you just want to run and survive this round, or do you want to stand up against him and maybe get the reward for it like they used to do?
But not only bring it back, but give more consequences for your actions. Have it spiral a little bit more.
Yeah, definitely that. Have more consequences behind it. More of an impact on the rest of your gameplay. Yes. Maybe a few more moments, like epic moments, where you should make those choices. Obviously, Brad needs to come back. I just wonder if he's going to have like more of a story impact. Like, will he stick around?
It would be cool to see a little bit more of Brad, honestly, and maybe like this remade version isn't so much of a chicken shit like he was in the original one, and maybe they can redeem his character a little bit. Maybe he'll die the hero in this. I don't, like go out a hero rather than.
I'm kind of hoping that I missed like the original art for RE3 with Nemesis standing over holding Brad, by the head.
Yeah.
That was that's cool. Right.
God, if we could get a remade version of that.
Yeah, can we please see that on the cover? Like, whatever you're doing now, don't.
Don't just do this.
Your cover design that you have now, whatever, just fix it.
Yeah, do this. Turn it into this.
Yeah. You just basically copied RE2's cover. Don't do that.
Yeah. Oh, you're saying that theme there. Yeah. I personally, I think it's cool that they're keeping that theme. But it would be really cool.
No, it still looks cool. But I want Brad needs to be in there.
Yeah, I want to see like a remade version of the original cover where Nemesis is standing up and he's got Brad in his hand. Yeah, that would be sick.
That would be cool.
Yeah, the choice system is key. Like I said, I don't think taking that out would be smart. I think that was something that worked really well. It's one of those things too that's not broke, so don't fix it. So if you're not if you're not going to fix it properly, then just leave it as is and just keep it in, because it's cool to go through and play multiple times. It adds to the replayability, and replayability is huge for the original Resident Evil games. You want to go through and try to beat your speed or get the different endings. And with that, it's like, okay, now I'm going to make this choice. I'm going to go these choices this route. So yeah, that is a fantastic addition. What are some things that you want to see brought back, Tony, aside from the choice system and Brad and the city?
Pretty much, oh man, this is... what did I need to do?
Everything.
Bring back? Yeah, I mean, honestly, okay, so... so every Resident Evil game so far that's been made, like the original trilogy, when it's been remade, you had a perfect blueprint. Pretty much of how you would do it. So in the original Resident Evil remake, you saw just like everything was brought back, and then just like a fresh coat of paint, and then a bunch of new stuff added. I say do the same thing, maybe make bring back the same areas, but expand upon them. Yes. Like the construction area, do a little bit more of those. I would like to see definitely being able to play as Carlos again. I think that's going to be a biggie that needs to, and I hope that they expand upon that, because his role in that game, is crucial as it is for Jill's survival, it's very limited. He pulls a Barry Burton and he just pops in from time to time, and then you get to play as him for a little bit.
No, wouldn't it be cool if they did two scenarios like with Resident Evil 2 Remake, except they added more consistency between because they had A and B in Resident Evil 2 Remake, but we gotta all admit that B was not very consistent, and some of us were let down by it. But if they had Carlos and Jill, and you could experience both of those scenarios, and they intertwine better, like, wouldn't that be fantastic?
Yeah, like something like that I think would fit really well if they go about it the right way. Like, give Carlos his own, even like do like kind of like what Ada was doing during the events of Resident Evil 4. You got to play as those separate ways.
Yeah.
Do something like that for Carlos, like when he first lands in the city, him trying to save people, they get killed, yada, 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 separates from his unit, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Something like that I think would do very well. And then like you could do small, like kind of like ghost versions from 2, Also, and yeah, if we're going to get really down to what needs to be in this game, personally for me, it has to be Mercenaries. I really hope Mercenaries is brought back, because that mode is still a lot of fun even to this day.
In my opinion, that was my favorite bonus mode out of all the Resident Evil games. It was probably the bonus mode I played the most. It has the most replayability. Really? Yeah, I absolutely love Mercenaries, and I'm 100% with you. Please, I know it was very kind that Capcom gave us free DLC for Resident Evil 2. I am not complaining, but I really liked the I'm blanking on the name here, but the Extreme Battle Mode. That was really cool. They got rid of that.
Oh, with the bombs and everything.
Yeah, with Resident Evil 3 Remake, please do not get rid of mercenaries.
Yeah, please bring that back.
Yes, I'm asking nice, please.
You want replayability in your game so it doesn't die out like RE2 did, and then people forget about it when it comes around to award season. Is voting still open for that?
Voting is still open. So just
go vote for RE2.
Go vote. Just Google Game Awards 2019. It'll be like one of the first things you can do is vote for Game of the Year. It's super simple. Do it after this podcast. Tell your mom, your dad, your grandma.
If you really think it was Game of the Year, then make sure you go vote for it.
No, just do it.
Also, you can actually do it. Yeah, you can actually vote daily. So make sure to do that as well, which was kind of interesting that you could vote more than once. So make sure you guys go out there and vote daily on that. And if there's anything Devil May Cry related, please go vote for that because that game is not getting the love it deserved, and that game was fantastic.
Yeah,
I'm just saying that because I waited 11 years for that game. So
I mean, how epic would it be? Like, just think about this. How epic would it be if we get the reveal of Resident Evil 3 Remake this week, and then shortly after, Resident Evil 2 wins Game of the Year? Like, epic. Resident Evil 2 dropped this year. Resident Evil 2 Remake dropped this year. All the Switch games, whatever, they dropped. And then Resident Evil 2 Remake won Game of the Year, and we got the reveal of Resident Evil 3 Remake. This would be like the ultimate Resident Evil year. We need to make this happen.
Are we moving from the things we want to see?
Yeah, well, we're into the things we want to see. Then we got into things we want brought back. And now we're gonna be transitioning here. There was one more thing that I wanted to see brought back, and I can't remember what it is right now. But if I remember, I'll bring it up.
Was it ammo making?
No. Because I do want to see that. I think that at this point they're going to be bringing that into this game.
Yeah, it was already in Remake 2, so it should be in 3, I would think.
Yeah, there was Mercenaries was like one of the key things that I definitely want to see brought back. The choice system, having the multiple characters. And yeah, I'm blanking on it, but yeah, that's it. That's all I can think of right now. But there's a few other things that are really important that I do want to see brought back. One thing I don't want to see brought back is that goddamn water puzzle. Get that shit out of there. Get it out.
Put 4 more in and make them 10 times harder.
All right, yeah, I won't buy your damn game. No, just get buying it regardless. But please, no, God. All right. Before we transition now in what we want added to the Resident Evil 3 Remake, I just want to read some of the super chats we got, and thank you guys so much for your support. We really appreciate the 816 people watching. That absolutely blows my mind. Thank you all so much for the support. Yeah, happy Resident Evil 3 Remake possible announcement week. And yeah, thank you guys all so much. So for our super chats, we got Thunderbeard. I like that name. With a $5 super chat. Wonder if they'll have items you can pick up each time you fight Nemesis and win like the original Resident Evil 3. That is a good one. Like Ollie touched on that. Yeah,
that would be awesome.
JK Takoim with a $5 super chat. I want Nemesis to be nightmare fuel. I read somewhere he can go into safe rooms, and that to me was just awesome to hear because that is badass. Yeah, they gotta amp him up more than Mr. X, right?
Yeah. Yeah, no more safe rooms.
You're not safe. Not from Nemesis. Maybe from Mr.
X. No, I mean, keep the safe rooms. I still want to have that cool moment walking into a safe room, but I don't want to be safe in the safe room.
Well, you got to remember, Mr. X has a fedora. He's proper and he has manners. Nemesis don't give a fuck. He's disrespectful. Yeah. And then Justice...
Party boy, he don't give a fuck.
Yep. Justice Dude 97 with $5 super chat. Resident Evil 3 is my all-time favorite game. Playing this remake is going to feel like reuniting with old friends you haven't seen in a long time. I can't wait, dude. It's like childhood coming back. It really is. And then the last super chat we have here is Proxy, or no, I'm sorry, not Proxy. My bad. Jeff Marcotte. With a $20 super chat. Thank you so much. I'd pay good money to see Brad turn infected in Resident Evil 3 since we didn't get him in Resident Evil 2. That's that 100%. Now I wonder because there's a possibility they did add that secret achievement to Resident Evil 2. Nobody knows what it is. But wouldn't it be cool if like they updated it so that Brad is there or something? I don't know. I think that would be awesome.
I'd go back and play that.
It'd be funny like outside the gates of the RPD. That's where you encounter Nemesis when he infects Brad. And if you choose to run, like you run through the gate, but then like Brad's body flies over the gate and like thud. And then he gets up and you have to fight Brad. You got to put him down.
That would be pretty cool.
Or leave him out front. It was just like disgusting thud, and like then he just gets up as a zombie.
Well,
mangled.
Well, the funny thing about that, about Zombie Brad, was in Resident Evil 3 Nemesis. Like originally, this is something that was planned. They were gonna have it to where you could play as Zombie Brad. Like they wanted to do something with it, but the problem was because of time constraints and the production. Because what a lot of other people don't know was Code Veronica was also being worked on at the same time as RE3. So they had to scrap the idea, but it is something that they wanted to do, but they never got the chance to.
Fun fact.
I'm wondering, they released the Survivors DLC afterwards with some side stories for 2. I'm wondering if they're going to do that for 3 with like characters like Brad or someone, some of these side Dario or.
If it's extra, if it doesn't take the place of Mercenaries, that would be cool. But at the same time,
I would like to see a little gameplay for like Nikolai and
Mikhail.
I combined the 2. They're a couple now, okay?
Yeah, a couple now.
I'm shipping that ship right there.
Mikhail.
No, that leads us into our next topic, actually, what we want to see. And I completely agree with you. Like, now going off the Resident Evil 2 remake, one thing a lot of people wanted, because the game was good. That was the one thing, is like, is it going to be good? A lot of weight was on this game, and it was good. So people weren't. If the game is good and it feels like a full game, and you got your full money's worth, I have no problem with paying extra for DLC. And the free DLC we got was great, but it was what if scenarios. I wanted more story that was part of the lore, more for Kendo that wasn't a spin-off or a what if, or And so with Resident Evil 3 remake, honestly, what I want to see added is Nikolai, Mikhail, like the side stories, Dario and his wife, and in the comics I think it's his daughter that gets bit or something, and he pushes his wife and daughter back and to save himself. Kind of an asshole. And I want to see stuff like that. And if the game is just as good as Resident Evil 2 remake, I have no problem with paying for extra DLC to get more story. That's what I want to see the most. And there's other things too that I want to see added, but that's for me, that's mine. What do you think, Tony? What do you want to see added?
I mean, a lot of the characters that are in, I mean, you kind of get, I feel, a little bit more characters in this one than you did past games. I mean, in way maybe like the same, because like Leon has, he comes across Marvin, he comes across Ada, he comes across Annette. I'm trying to think if there's anybody else. He doesn't really come across anybody else until Sherry and
Kendo,
Claire at the end. But I feel in 3 it's a bit more prominent with these characters, because Nikolai is doing a bunch of shady shit behind the scenes, which we do get to see a little bit of what he's doing in like Operation Raccoon City and in Resident Evil Outbreak. Yeah. So I think that it's a definite, much like Ghost Survivors, we need a mode where we're playing as like Nikolai, Mikhail, and maybe like an extra mode for Carlos, but have it be canon. Don't know like what if scenarios. That really needs to be added.
What were they doing?
Like we need to know exactly what they were going through. And here's an interesting twist you could do for Mikhail. Since technically in the book he gets shot by Nikolai in the back and he doesn't know it was him, you pick up the story where he's like getting off the ground after being shot and he's in danger and you have to find your way to the trolley.
And, that would be really cool.
Exactly. So like it's adding. I mean, like you'll find health recovery items along the way, but because of how critical he is, his life will go down. Kind of like you're poisoned. So I think that would add like an extra nice gameplay on how shit goes for the character. I think something like that is a great addition that needs to be there. Unlockable weapons, unlockable outfits, those need to be a thing, because one of the things about Resident Evil 7 was it didn't really have a lot to unlock. And its replay value was pretty much just, I can replay it for a harder challenge, which, there is a big challenge.
I think that's the same thing that kind of happened with 2. There wasn't much replay after about 6 months or so.
Modders kind of kept it going.
Yeah, modders kept it alive, but if you're a console gamer, then you didn't have access to stuff. So giving us periodic, if you're going to give us DLC, like break it up in quarters and give us something substantial.
Yeah, space it out to keep people interested. That's what Nintendo does with Smash Brothers and their characters and everything.
For sure.
Yeah.
What do you think, Ali? What do you want to see added?
I really want more locations. I want to see more of the city. I don't want them to take anything away from the city that was already there.
Yeah.
Some more of the fall of the city as well. Like I want to see the chaos ensue in the beginning. Like it'll be cool to be at the RPD in the beginning, like when things are really getting bad with Marvin before you split, or something like that. and then you try and circle back later.
That's a really good
for
one.
what for whatever you need, and that's when you actually play to the RPD. But just give me some cutscenes of it or something. Let me see some of these other characters. Um, I want to see what the hell was Irons doing at the beginning of all this.
Yeah, that would be
Um,
interesting to go to the RPD as Jill and have a few things going on there rather than she gets there and it's already all gone down.
yeah, obviously, I want the mercenaries mode, and then some extra storylines with some of the side characters. Give us an A/B scenario at least between, Jill's side to Carlos's side or something.
Yeah.
So because I'm like 2 works, you had A/B, you had disc 1, disc 2, you can make the game last. 3 didn't have that, so you're gonna have to figure out how to extend this game in the new era, basically.
Yeah.
When it was short by its own standards back then, if you were decent at it.
So with all the characters they have and doing the A and B, they could really extend this game quite a bit.
Yeah, there's a lot of potential here. It's not as streamlined as 2 was, where is so focused on these 2 characters.
Yeah.
3 opened up to the a bigger world and the city as a whole. So there's a lot you can do in there.
Yeah, definitely.
Exactly.
That's one thing I loved about it is you started in 2 and everything already went down. It was gloomy. Leon gets out of his his Jeep and it's already gone down. But 3 is really you get firsthand with that opening cutscene, which I love. You get firsthand experience of this shit's going down and you're in the middle of it. So for Jill to go out in the streets during the outbreak, that'd be fantastic.
Yeah, make that cutscene a playable part. Basically, let's see what happened there.
100%.
Let us be part of that. Yeah.
Like I said, awesome. Maybe start from her apartment and just go right through the beginning of it, and that's how they could add to the game. You know what I mean? They could add those moments that she had before you started playing as her in the original. You'd have to condense them, but it would be cool to see some of that.
Yeah, it'd be awesome.
Do you guys have anything else that you could think of that should be added, or anything that you? Well, no, I think that that pretty much covers it. But anything else you guys think that should be added that wasn't in? That Resident Evil 2 remake didn't do or didn't add that you would like to see this
more
one
cutscenes.
More cutscenes, yes. Definitely more cutscenes.
100%.
Because it was the acting was so well done, and
the cutscenes were good, but they were short. There wasn't a whole lot of them. They were awesome. So give us more cutscenes. Give us more of that quality.
Yeah, that's something that I continuously praise RE2 about is the fact that you have all these amazing actors and actresses that fucking killed it, but the cutscenes felt about as long sometimes as the originals.
Yeah.
And, where we're coming from games like Resident Evil 4 and 5 and even 6, they had a lot. Even 7 had a decent amount of length to their cutscenes. So I really hope that in a game this epic that they don't skip on it, because you also have to remember, too, this is the end of the Raccoon City saga. This is where everything goes boom at the end. So, you really got to sell this here, and cutscenes are the way to go.
Definitely.
And they're investing in Raccoon City for this. I mean, between this 2 and Project Resistance, they're settling right now as a development team in that era.
So they could do Outbreak.
Yeah. So it's I mean, go big on it.
Why not?
Go big on it.
Go home.
If you're gonna do this, do it big, or don't do it at all.
You're basically redoing it. And at that time, we did go into Outbreak. So hey, why not? Let's revisit that. And oh God, I don't even want to say this, but please don't let Project Resistance be your supplement to Outbreak. We want a proper Outbreak.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, OG soundtrack for free? Hell yeah! Got to bring back the OG soundtrack.
That should have been free. But so I mean, I'm sure we could think of a million more things, but I think we hit a lot of the key features we wanted to see brought back. We wanted to see newly added. So now we're going to transition over to your guys' questions. So if you guys have any questions for us...
Wait.
What do you got?
Do we want to do questions first, or do we want to put out some announcements?
Oh, well, first, we can put out some announcements, actually. That's a really good idea. First, let me read... we got a super chat here before we transition. Gabe's Gaming with a $2 super chat. Thank you very much. The epic intro better be in it, too. That was my favorite. Like I said, that was one of my favorite intros. Next, that and Outbreak. But yes, now we can go into some announcements. So, Ali, what do you got for announcements?
Well, let's talk about this year's Toys for Tots.
Oh, big one! My favorite stream every year.
Yes, you guys know how much we love doing our charity stuff and being part of that. And it's been an annual tradition here since the ROE Team was born to do a Toys for Tots every Christmas, every winter season.
Yep.
So we do have ours coming up. We have a schedule. All that's going to be posted on Monday, right?
Yep. We're posting those at the beginning of next week.
It's going to be streams like we usually do. They're going to be broken up for team members to have their own stream to raise as much money as we can
For the kids.
And so it's Tony. Tony, are you going solo?
Yeah, we're trying to plan things around for a big thing, but I think the game that I originally had planned anyway will be much better suited for JJ and Bob Spaghetti in the future because it's a duo thing. So I'm gonna be playing Resident Evil 3 Nemesis, and because of what is happening right now.
Yeah,
I mean, obviously that's everybody's looking for RE3 stuff. So
yeah, that'll be huge.
Tony's gonna. What better place to go to than the man who has utmost love and passion for RE3?
Yeah,
that's right.
He's going to be kicking it off.
Yeah, he's going to kick it off too. Yeah, I think look for the times and dates. They're going to be posted on Monday.
Yep.
And then followed up with JJ and Bob doing their crazy challenge streams that they always do. What are you guys playing?
Blanco Veronica. Everybody's been requesting it on the channel. We're going right into Veronica.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And they're going to have their usual crazy challenges they do when they hit their benchmarks for donations.
We're trying to make a lot of money for the kids.
Yep. And mine, I will be having a special guest, Nick Apostolides, your Leon for RE2 Remake. He's going to be joining me, and we're going to play RE4 because he really, really wants to play RE4, and he's been hitting me up for a while saying, hey, man, when are we going to do this?
Yeah.
So we're going to do it for Toys for Tots. We're going to hang out and play some RE4. He's super excited about it. It's one of his favorite games. It's the one that really got him into Resident Evil.
That's cool.
Him and his brothers, yeah, so... It's a big deal, and we're going to do that for the audience, so that'll be ours. Again, time and dates will be announced coming up. Mine is a little bit more tricky to announce because Nick is a working man that's on location filming things that he can't be always available, so we'll let you know as soon as it comes up.
For sure. Yep. We'll get you some info here quick. And then next is a huge announcement. You want to announce this one too, Ali?
Yeah. Let the hype train roll. Yep. Speaking of Nick...
Get ready, guys.
I don't know what you guys are
pants
doing.
on.
I don't know what everybody else is doing next month, but I know the road team's going to be in San Antonio at PAX South.
Yeah, so, buddy.
We're okay. This is huge. People who have been here since day one, people who have showed up recently, you may not know this, but the road team has never met in person, which is insane. The fact that we've been doing this for so long and we've done this thing so well, we've never actually met in person. So this is huge.
Yeah, Bob and JJ, they're just holograms sitting next to each other.
Yeah. They're just FaceTiming.
Yep.
So we were thinking, it's like, what can we do for the 3rd year anniversary? It's like, well, we got to go big. This is a big deal for us. 3 years, going strong. So we started kicking around some ideas. Like, oh, hey, PAX South is in January around our birthday. So what do you think? So we all agreed on, let's go to PAX South. Well, we took it one step forward. Not only are we all going to PAX South, we're going to do a meetup with everybody that's down, that shows up to PAX South, that lives around there. If you're in the area, if you're in the state of Texas, if you're in the Southern Hemisphere, I don't care. Show up.
Come on.
Show up. We're going to do a meetup, which, again, will be planned probably on a Saturday night for the PAX convention. We also are doing a live podcast from the convention as a panel on Saturday afternoon at 2:30 p.m. in the Cactus Theater.
Cactus Theater?
Cactus, yeah, it's Cactus something. The Cactus
Cactar, Final Fantasy.
We're going to be doing a panel, a live panel, ROE podcast.
Live panel podcast, and our boy Nick is hanging out with us the whole weekend.
He's coming. Over.
We're going to celebrate with him. We're going to celebrate with the whole ROE family. Everybody, if you're coming, please come to the panel, ask questions live, be part of the discussion. If RE3 does officially get announced, we're going to dive into it. We're going to give all of our thoughts. Nick is a huge RE fan. He's an actor in the series. He's going to have things to say. We're going to talk about our love of survival horror, and we want to celebrate this huge milestone of anniversary with all of you. So please, if you're going to PAX South, come join us, come to the meetup, and have a good time. And bring questions for Nick.
What's the date for PAX South?
PAX South is January, I believe it's 16, 17, 18. Let me make sure. 17, 18, 19.
Holy crap, the chat's going wild right now.
Yeah, dude, we're going to PAX South with Leon Kennedy from the Resident Evil 2 Remake.
With Leon Kennedy. We're going to go celebrate our birthday in style with all of you wonderful people out there.
Dude, it's going to be so epic. What a way to celebrate our 3-year anniversary. Like, I am just so thankful for all of you, for everybody that's been so supportive of us, that has got us to this point, to the fact that we could go to conventions, do a live panel with the actors from Resident Evil. Like, it's like a dream come true, dude. I can't thank you guys enough. Like, it's all because you guys care and watch and care about what we have to say. So thank you guys all so much.
It really is. It's on the ROE family, the ROE fans, the ROE audience. It's all because of you, because this is not something where PAX reached out to us. This is something that we coordinated and we're funding. This is coming all from the ROE. This is nobody's paying for us to go except for ourselves.
And you guys amazing. Are helping with that. Yeah, you guys are
and
your support.
This came from our Patreons, our super chats, all the generous donations that people give. That's all funded into setting this up.
Yes. So thank you guys so much.
It's gonna be crazy. You guys have done like so much for us. And other than Nick and myself, Ali and JJ, why don't you tell them who else is coming?
Bob Spaghetti's gonna be there. He's gonna be there. Bob Spaghetti's coming.
Bob Spaghetti's gonna be there.
Hype.
And wasn't there one other person too, JJ?
Yeah, my cousin Corey's tagging along.
You're bringing Corey. He's just gonna sit there, in the chair passed out for the whole panel.
Yeah, he's just gonna sleep, and you guys can sign it. You guys can sign his face while he's sleeping in the chair, passed out, and he'll relive that emoji that we have on the channel. Some of you guys know what that is. Some of you don't. If you don't, you'll never know. It's private.
For $5, I'll tell people.
For $5. Oh, so yeah, I mean, like, everybody you've seen on the channel is coming. Like,
yes,
like, it's crazy. And even my wife, she was gonna be going. It's gonna be epic. It's gonna be huge. Like, it's a big event. It's like the most exciting thing I've never been to a convention. This is my first time going to a convention. We're gonna be doing a panel, so I'm just like, with the Resident Evil 3 remake, with this panel, like, hyped. And we're gonna be showing some cool visual stuff there. So the survival horror game that we are working on,
that's true.
Moonglint is developing. We got some other really talented people working on it, like Mona Memory, Unicomics. There's so many. We're gonna be showcasing some stuff for Vigil there.
Yeah, that's gonna be in the panel. We're not doing like on-site demos. We're not gonna have a booth. But we're going to show some things that nobody's seen before in this panel.
Yes.
So if you're there, you're going to get a chance to see something that no one else has seen, which, of course, we're going to put out later for the rest of the audience that can't be there. Also, PAX had let me know that this is probably going to be streamed on their Twitch channel, but it may not. Last I got from my contact there from the department was that they don't know if that – and originally it was, yes, they wanted to stream our big event to their channel, but then when they got back to me, it's like, we don't know if that theater is set up for streaming. Do you want to change? I was like, oh, we're good. It's either way. You know?
Yeah.
It's like, we're there for the fun, man. If you guys want us to stream it, that's great. If not, we're probably going to record it and put it out again anyway. So
exactly.
Yeah. So guys, come on out. Like I said, the dates and everything. We'll be posting it even more in great detail. So bring your questions. You can come meet us. You can come take pictures with us and like autographs and everything. We're going to be signing anything you guys want and such. If you guys want me to jump out a window, I'll do it.
As long as it's on the first floor and there's nothing dangerous.
Oh, hell
bring
no,
a broom of doom.
For my fans, I'm jumping out a 5th floor window, okay?
He's going big.
Yeah.
Go big or go home.
And we're expecting to have a custom poster for the event that we're going to have on hand.
That's being done by Unicomics right now.
Unicomics, yeah.
And that's what do you call it there? That's a like a limited run type deal, right? Like
Yeah, it's going to be one of those
for
things
this event.
Yeah, so if you're at the event and everything like that, you have a chance to get these. And are we doing it for free?
We didn't discuss that yet, Tony.
Oh, I don't remember.
It depends on the cost of getting them.
It's true. Yeah. There is a lot that goes for this. My bad, but no, I mean, like I said, anything you guys want to ask us and stuff like that, we're gonna have the panel. The panel's gonna be about like an hour or so, a little bit longer.
Cool.
So you guys, anything you want to ask us or just take pictures, you just let us know, and when we're there, we'll do it.
Yeah, and then like I said, Saturday night we're planning a meetup. It might be something that's like off the cuff, just on a whim. Hey, let's all go to this place, and whoever wants to show up can show up.
We're gonna raid a bar.
We also have to see what the attendance is like at the panel. Yeah. If 10 people show up, 10 people is not bad for a meetup. If 100 people show up, it's a little more harder to coordinate.
We're raiding with 100 people.
Yeah,
you should thank
us for bringing downtown. Business. Get ready for us. Remember the Alamo.
All right, so those are huge announcements. We're gonna be posting more of that information on our social media, so make sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram at ROE Network, ROE Network. Obviously, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel in case we drop anything here. And I guess I don't think we have any other big announcements, so we could get into some questions. Let's take a couple questions. It could be about the Resident Evil 3 remake, preferably the Resident Evil 3 remake. But if you guys got any questions for us right now, is the time to ask. And while you guys are asking questions, Tony, Ali, you want to round those up? I'm just going to give a huge shout out to our Heart Key members and our Master of Unlocking members. So our Heart Key members are our YouTube top tier sponsors. We have Amy Notsuma Eddie Jr., IzabelaMc, Ruler206, and ProXY One Creations. Thank you guys so much for supporting the live streams. And then we have our Master of Unlocking Patreon members. We have Eddie Jr., Christopher Sedrick, Devon L, Dusseau, Trent Overton, ProXY One, and IzabelaMc. Thank you guys all so much for the support, for making all this possible. You guys help out more than you could ever know. Okay, so now do you guys got some questions?
Well, I did see Psych05 asked this earlier. He wants to know what he or she, this person, wants to know what my favorite Resident Evil is. 2. 2's my favorite.
Yeah, 2.
The original 2. I love Remake 2, but I love the original 2 more.
I'm with you. The remake was excellent, but original 2 will always be my favorite. Too much nostalgia. Love that game. Mm-hmm. What else you got?
Let's see. Julian CKL wants to know, well, I'm guessing Vigil is what they're asking, if it'll be available on Steam. That's yet to be decided.
Yet to be decided, but that's a plan. That is the plan.
Yeah. But it's still early. Well, the earlier stages of development.
Yeah.
So,
got a little ways to go.
Haven't approached a platform to distribute on.
Here's a good one. Do you think Code Veronica needs a remake, or is it too recent? Me personally, I just recently started playing that again, and I always thought that it held up really well. It's one of those games that it looks fine, it doesn't need a remake, but when I replayed it, it's still excellent. It's still a ton of fun, but the animations are a little clunky, and I feel like maybe it could use a remake. And with how well 2 did,
I'd like to see a remake of Code Veronica. I mean,
yeah,
it's
for
the
sure.
Same. I want to see all the games remade in the RE engine.
Yeah, I mean, right. Except for one remake is still like
good, yeah.
Resident Evil perfection. I mean, it would be interesting to see Resident Evil 1 remake in the RE engine with the new style, but I still love that game.
Yeah,
that game is Resident Evil perfection for me. I really don't want him to touch it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the original remake needs to be left alone because it's pretty much gold as it is.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, like Code Veronica's like the redheaded stepchild in many ways. Like a lot of people dismissed it or didn't play it because it was on the Dreamcast, and not a lot of people owned a Dreamcast back in the day. So it wasn't until like the PS2 where they played Code Veronica X, but still, even then, people kind of just ignored it. And 3 was kind of the same way too. 2 was so popular that it overshadowed everything. Kind of like a Final Fantasy VII effect. Final Fantasy VII came out, and not a lot of people played, gave much hype about 8 and 9, and those are actually really good Final Fantasy games. So, years later, people started discovering what, Resident Evil 3 really was, and same with Code Veronica, and they're like, oh my god, Code Veronica has a lot of cutscenes. It's got sad moments. It's got a lot of this crazy stuff in it, and I think it deserves that remake treatment. Whereas I don't think 4 needs, and if they ever try to remake it anytime soon, I'm going to be like, no, bad Capcom. Bad, I'm going to roll up a newspaper and hit him on the head.
Kento wants to know if we will ever interview Richard Waugh. Yeah, he's on my list.
Definitely one we're going to try for.
Some of these guys are hard to get.
Yeah,
they're all so busy.
Last year we pushed hard on the RE2 remake, and once I find out for the RE3 remake, if they released a cast, if whatever is going to happen with that, as soon as I get information sending me in a direction to talk to people, I'm going to start talking to people. I'm going to go straight Liam Neeson taken. I don't know who you are.
I will find you.
I do know who you are now.
No.
Well, I'm only going to ask you once. If you agree to do my interview, that'll be the end of it. But if you don't, I will find you. And I will make you. Okay? I will interview you. I will ask you questions. Anyway.
Hey, don't worry about how we get them on here, okay? You just enjoy the content, goddammit.
Yeah, but there are a lot of the older, cast that I still need to come back around to. So hopefully expect whenever RE3 comes out for the remake, that there'll be a push on those cast members. But outside of that, other parts of the year when things are slowing down, I'll try and fill in some of the other actors I need to come back to.
For sure.
This is a good one. It's not really RE3, but will Dino Crisis get some love? Answer, please. Honestly, Spy Dazik-esque. I think I'm saying that right. The thing is, here's the reason why we think that a Dino Crisis, at least my personal opinion, Resident Evil Capcom is in a state right now where, other than their fighting game division, they are on fire with everything. The Mega Man X Legacy Collection sold way better than I think Capcom or anybody thought it would. Mega Man 11 sold really good. Devil May Cry 5 sold extraordinarily well. Resident Evil 2 Remake is on fire. Monster Hunter World, that literally is now the greatest selling Capcom game of all time, beating out Street Fighter 2. So, and by and maybe with this is how the other thing I see it too. RE2 Remake wins Game of the Year. Devil May Cry wins a bunch more awards because I think it already got some for its music and I think graphics and stuff, but there's more to win as well. But by doing that and voting for those games, you have a better chance of Capcom waking up and realizing, man, all these IPs that we haven't done anything with, like people love Resident Evil. Dino Crisis is a lot like Resident Evil. Let's give the people what they want, because it took how many years for Remake 2? Yeah. So anything's possible, and I think if we all do our part to vote for these specific Capcom games and buy the games, especially when they're actually good games, like they're really thinking about these games when they're making them now in many ways. Like, this is your chance to get those remakes, is by buying the products and showing Capcom, because money talks.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, look at what the flashback.
Yeah.
Anyways, you know what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
From the fan base when 6 came out, and people were just kind of like, all right, we're done with this, man.
Yeah, despite the fact that it actually sold very well.
It sold well, yes, but I don't know. The point doesn't make sense. But you get what I'm talking about.
Yeah, well, like Resident Evil 5 and Resident Evil 6, they came out in a different era of news reporting, because 5 was in 2009 and 6 was like 2011, 2012. So the internet was still different back then. So where, like, you didn't really trash a game at first when you saw you just had the trailers that they released on YouTube and game trailers and IGN and stuff like that. And the trailers are what helped sell the game. A lot of people thought it was going to be this thing, and 6 turned out to be not what we thought it was. So, but it made a lot of money.
Yeah.
Black Sail Studios dropped a $2 super chat, asked, could RE3 be good with hip firing hiding? I think if Nemesis is going to be worse than what Mr. X was for Remake 2, they got to give us some kind of evasion abilities.
100%, yeah.
Hip firing makes sense, especially if you're out in the streets. I want to see like hordes of zombies,
Yeah,
and hip firing helps in that kind of situation. Shoot from the hip, 80s action star all the way.
Hell yeah,
you gotta have that.
But you gotta have some kind of evasion skills. Whether it's a dodge, a hiding mechanic could be interesting if you think to some of the games that have done it successfully, like Alien Isolation.
Yep.
Having to actually hide from Nemesis would help, because with Mr. X, you couldn't really hide. You just had to get far enough away from that he would lose interest for a second.
Yeah.
But I don't see you being able to outrun something that runs after you. And they need to give you some kind of evasion skills. So that would be interesting.
Jill is a trained STARS officer, so like she will have a little bit more experience than, I don't know, maybe Claire would. Leon is a rookie. So yeah, she definitely is going to have some more sort of evasion. I think that they definitely have to implement something like that. I guess we're going to get into, because we got a few super chats.
Another super chat from TechCom.
We got one for that. So Jason Cole with the $4 super chat. Thank you so much, Jason. He says, ready for this all new edition of Resident Evil 3. And then we did the Black Sail Studios, which thank you very much. And then TechCom, think the RE games will go in a different direction story-wise from 4, 5, and 6. Like show a war between Stars and Umbrella rather than they go under off-screen. I did not like how Umbrella kind of tanked off-screen, and it was just sort of alluded to in Resident Evil 4 as a beginning intro. What do you guys think about that?
I would like I've said this before, I wish they would go back, and now that they are going back technically, I want them to fill in that storyline. Whether it's a whole new game that falls in between, like a Revelations 3 would be cool, something where you go up against actually taking down Umbrella. But I don't think they'll go back and erase the story that they've established so far, because they've already continued that through 7.
And they want to keep
7,
that,
even though 7 was so vague about it, about where the story lies, because it was a new character and they didn't really tie anything until the end. But I don't think they'll go back and erase what they did with 4, 5, and 6.
Unfortunately, I agree with you.
But they do need to
there's still fans of those games, but it would be nice to see the takedown of Umbrella and not off screen. What do you think, Tony? What would you like to see? Would you like to see them sort of rewrite that in a sense?
That's right. Like rewrite it. Like what was the original question?
So that you actually take down Umbrella rather than it just being explained off screen, like in Resident Evil 4 at the beginning.
Yeah. Instead of them doing 4, 5, and 6, if they gave us a series where it actually went and let us go after Umbrella.
Yeah, or the events of leading up. Yeah, because like Umbrella Chronicles, they kind of led up to that in the Russian facility where Jill and Chris fought the new bioweapon Talos, and then Wesker, working in the shadows, went and killed Sergei and took all the data from Umbrella, everything, and made it his own. But I would love to see some kind of build up to that, some kind of thing of how like the BSAA are really formed, or all this other stuff before that. How they actually took down Umbrella would be great, because there was people that were like connected to the U.S. government too. They said like, oh yeah, like they were behind the bombing of Raccoon City. This is the one that gave the order. They knew about Umbrella. They knew what they were doing here. So there's so much to cover in between, and maybe a game working up to connecting those pieces would be good. I don't know if it can be done, but
yeah.
You know what game did something similar to that?
What?
In a reboot sort of fashion was Modern Warfare. The new Modern Warfare was technically a reboot of the series. And spoiler alerts for anybody who hasn't played it, but the ending leads off with, what are you going to call this task force that Price is setting up? He says 141. You could do the same thing for Revelations 3 Umbrella type thing, where at the end they're like, we're starting a new organization called the BSAA.
That would be epic.
to combat global terrorism.
Definitely. That's a really cool. Yeah, that would be really cool to see something like that. Justice Dude with 97 with a $5 super chat. Thank you so much, Justice Dude. He says Jill was Delta Force when she was 18. I think she can hip fire with the best of them. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. She's got the
I read that and I started thinking about how in the original when she gets like the assault rifle, and she's basically hip firing that all the time. They never raise their like those type of weapons up.
Yeah.
So if they recreate that exact stance as she's like hip firing with an assault rifle, I'm gonna be very happy. It's going to look cool. We're like, I know that.
Badass. And Rambo says, I love you, Ro. We love you too. Thank you guys so much for the support. We're going to leave it there. But yeah, I mean, I've said this a million times, and I'm so grateful I get to say this throughout the year, but it is a good time to be a Resident Evil fan. So thank you guys all so much for watching, for listening, to everybody who has donated through Super Chat and subscriptions. Thank you guys so much for your support. To our moderators for keeping everything in check. Thank you. Do you guys have anything else you'd like to say before we wrap up here?
Just thanks for everything. You guys are amazing. We're coming up on 3 years. It's another holiday season, and this is like I think our time when our community shines because everybody comes together and gives what they can to people who need it.
Yep.
So I appreciate all of you. All of you are wonderful, and keep an eye out for the dates coming up for Toys or Tots. Keep an eye out for further announcements, and Let's look forward to hopefully we get something RE3 soon.
Hell yeah, dude. I can't wait. What do you got anything you want to say before we head off, Tony?
I need more sunglasses.
Okay. Right.
No,
but you're good on cocaine. Okay.
He's good on cocaine.
We got plenty of that still. Thankfully, I didn't use up all of it yet.
Yeah.
I'm just really proud of my team. I'm really proud of our mods. I'm really proud of the fans for spreading the word, everything we do, everything that you guys have, like messaged us about, wondering this, that, and then some. You guys really make this, a lot because we didn't, honestly, I'm going to say, I didn't think we'd get this far. Like,
I didn't either.
We're in a time where like YouTube is like oversaturated with content creators. This isn't like it was like 8-9 years ago. So to get where we are today at almost 150,000 subscribers is just like mind blowing. It's like, wow.
Well, to do a live podcast on YouTube and have over 700 people, over 800 at one point is absolutely incredible.
Yeah, like
you guys have hung out with us this whole time and listened to 3 guys talk about something they love. It's just incredible. You guys are awesome.
Thank you. And that's what I got to say too. Like, thank you guys so much. Like the fact that I used to be, 3 years ago before the YouTube channel, like I was just on the forums and the Facebook pages and I was just hanging out trying to get Resident Evil 2 remade, like doing whatever I could. And like now to be sort of like, in a sense, at the forefront, like with you guys, like we're all hyped for the Resident Evil 3 remake. You guys care about what we have to say, and it just means so much to me. Like the fact that you guys, like when Resident Evil 3 images came out, so many people messaged me, and I was like the fact that you guys care to know what I think, it blows my mind. So thank you guys so much. Like I can't believe we're here and we all get hyped together. Like just amazing. Mm-hmm. So thank you everybody. All right, and with that being said, Tony, where can people follow you?
You guys can follow me. If any of our put it in the chat, you can follow me on Twitter. I am at @1_big_boss. I post a lot of Resident Evil stuff, fighting game stuff, tons of Capcom stuff, and pretty much just make jokes. So whether they be good or bad is yet to be determined. So if you guys want to follow me over there, I'd greatly appreciate it. And yes.
All right. Ali, where can people follow you?
Here, obviously, is where I'm most active with things like this. I do have the Beyond the Fandom channel, which is some interviews that are not Resident Evil related, if you guys are interested. But really, I'm not like a big, like, socially. So if you need me, you can find me here.
All right. And you guys can follow me on Twitter at JJ_TRU, JJ True. And I just post sort of extra stuff on Resident Evil that I don't post on ROE, or I post some of the other stuff I'm doing, or I post some of the stuff that is Resident Evil related, but I don't think it's good enough for ROE, so I post the shit posting on mine. Just follow me on Twitter. But that's it, guys. thank you all so much for listening. We appreciate it. Happy hype, remake hype. I guess announcement coming soon day, whatever. Yeah, it's a great time to be a Resident Evil fan, and let's all get hyped. So thank you guys so much. We'll see you guys again soon. Bye.
Peace.